Hello everyone, this is Adnan with another video on AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Certification. In this video, we're going to learn what is S3, AWS S3 service. So, AWS S3 service is one of the storage services used in AWS. By definition, S3 is a simple web service interface that you can use to store and retrieve any amount of data anytime from anywhere on the web. So before even we can start in all of the laptops, what is S3? S3 is just a disk. It is just a storage space within AWS. So what type of storage space? So we all have notebooks, we all have laptops. In the laptops, there are two types of storage used. Actually, there are few types of storage used, but the main type of storage is number one, the internal disk and an external disk. So in a laptop, when we use the internal disk, that disk is considered as a EBS storage, and EBS storage, which is elastic block storage. And the second, on the laptops, we use external storage, which is in the form of USB. It can be any other type of storage, but S3 is an external storage is used as an external storage for AWS services. Now here in S3, it is files are stored in the bucket. So bucket is nothing but a folder that is created within AWS as an S3 service. So within S3 service, the main folder, the root folder where we store files and folders is known as a bucket. And in the bucket, you can store the files anywhere from 0 bytes to 5 terabytes. So 5 terabyte is the maximum capacity, and S3 is an object level storage. And here on this slide, there are different type of storage services available. So there is a block level storage and a object level storage. S3 is that object type of storage. Object means that in this, it's an unstructured data, and any type of data is stored. So objects are considered as files, folders, and those files can be video files, audio files, and all different type of files. But when we upload a file inside S3, that is considered as an object, whereas block level storage is considered as the storage that is connected to EC2 instance, and it's an internal disk. It's a block level, the storage that is stored, the file, the content that is stored in EBS is in the shape of equal size of simple blocks. Whereas there is a third type of storage that is known as EFS. EFS is a file share type of a storage. It's only for Linux machines. So if you need a file share that needs to be connected between two EC2 instances, we use EFS. Now there are different type of buckets available within S3. So S3, now we know that S3 is a storage service where you can store something, just like an external storage to a notebook, a USB drive. But there are different type of S3 buckets. So there is S3 standard bucket, there is intelligent tiering bucket, there is IA, which is infrequently accessed bucket. Then there is one zone IA, which is infrequently accessed one zone, Glacier, and deep Glacier. So these are different type of buckets available. The two new buckets that are added are intelligent tiering and deep archive. And so these are the two different. Now what is the main difference between these buckets is the main difference is that how frequently you need to access data. So the basic type of bucket or basic type of storage is called S3 standard storage. You can use it frequently, and here you will get 3 copies. It will be stored in three, at least greater than 3 availability zones, so 3 different zones, and the pricing will be this. Now second type of bucket, I'm going to come back to intelligent tiering, but second type of is infrequently accessed. So this is most frequently accessed, this is infrequently accessed, like a cold data, this is hot data, this is cold data. Where you need infrequently, that you need that data to be accessed sometimes, not frequently type of data. And in the prices right here, and here you will get minimum storage duration and the object size. There is a minimum object size available within so minimum object size is available within intelligent IA type of access. So infrequently accessed data, millisecond access, you will get a millisecond access. You will charged based on the millisecond access, and this is the pricing for this. Then the next next is S3 one zone intelligent infrequently accessed. Now it is exactly the same as this, but here there is you will store this data will be stored in one availability zone. So it is for that type of data which does not have a requirement that you need to spread that data across different availability zones. So you can use one availability zone, one zone IA. Then we have Glacier. This is for archival storage, and so archival storage meaning this is archive data, that data that you don't need in your everyday access. So you don't access that data every day. Mostly this is the data that is maybe 6 months old or maybe 3 months old, whatever your company policy is. It is sent to Glacier. Main difference between standard IA and Glacier is that this is expensive, then this is cheaper, and this is the cheapest. And now they have introduced a deep archive, which is the most cheapest, which is exactly like Glacier. So this is Glacier Deep Archive. The only difference between these two is that here you can get the data back whenever you need to retrieve that data. It might take anywhere from minutes to hours, but here if you have stored anything in the deep archive, this will take more than 12 hours. So if you try to retrieve this data, it will take more than 12 hours. So this is that data that is basically the data that your company doesn't need, and it can be stored for years and years according to the compliance, to meet the compliance of the government standards. In most of the countries, it is like 7 years for organizations to keep that data. So these are different type of buckets that you can create within S3. So here is the architecture. So in the lab, what we are going to do, we are going to create a simple S3 storage, and then we're going to upload some files in S3 storage and work with this. So when we upload a file, it is considered as an object. When we create a S3 storage, we need to know which region it is being created on, and we will name that S3 storage. And later on, we will expand this by uploading more and more file and connect it to the on-premise storage. So here you can see S3 Amazon storage, which is this is the icon where we create the bucket. You can create multiple buckets in your S3 as an S3 service, and we can also apply lifecycle management rule where we can move the objects from this storage to the Glacier if it is 6 months old, based on whatever your calculation is. And here we can see another AWS server, which is known as AWS Storage Gateways. AWS Storage Gateways used between on-premise and AWS, your AWS services. If you have any data that you need to store in S3, then we need to use AWS Gateway on both sides that will move the data. So the main purpose of the AWS Storage Gateway is to move data from AWS Gateway using AWS Gateway to S3. So here you need to move a file or folder to S3. We need to use AWS Gateway. So let's get started with the lab. So in the lab, what we are going to do, we are going to create S3. So we are going to create our first S3 S3 service, so first bucket. So here what I need to do, I need to go into the services and go to S3. You can find S3 here, and when you go to S3, here it will show you that there are no buckets available at the moment. What I can do is I can create a bucket. So when you create a bucket, you need to name the bucket. So I'm gonna name this let's say pass bucket 001. This name has to be unique, and you need to know where you're creating this bucket. So I'm creating this in US East North Virginia region. This is where we are creating all our objects. And here you can, if you have existing bucket and you need to use the existing settings of that bucket, you can choose a bucket from here. We don't have any bucket, that's why it's said optional. And here it's saying that does this bucket require the public access. If you need to access this bucket from here where you are creating the bucket from, obviously you're making this bucket from your home or your office and connecting to AWS infrastructure, you need to enable this. But for now I'm not gonna enable this. We will enable this later on. Then you can also have bucket versioning. Bucket versioning, if you switch this on, then what happens is it will create all different versions of your different objects within the storage. So for example, you created a file name financedoc.txt, so that will be a file, and whenever you make a small change or a large change or even a minor change, the previous version will be saved as a previous version. And if you enable this, then it will create versioning for all your documents. The problem with this, if you enable this in the bucket, yes, you can enable or disable this at any point in time, but once you enable this, this will start accumulating your storage, because it will create all the versions. It will create versions of all objects within the bucket. Here you have a tag, that which tag which department this belongs to, so I'm not going to use any tags here. Here you can enable encryption for security reasons, and I'm going to go through that later on in the advanced. Here you can lock this bucket, so that this bucket will be protected from accidental deletion. So here I'm not going to use any lock, and I'm going to create this bucket. So bucket, in other words, bucket is just a folder. It is just a folder where you can upload a file. So our first bucket is created, and in order to, so you can open this bucket right here. Now, depending on where you're accessing your AWS subscription, the interface might be different, but the options will be exactly the same. Here, the bucket is showing you the region. Here, it's showing you that where this bucket is, which service is this bucket belongs to. You can copy this and access this from right here. This is access. This is the name of the bucket, and here is the date, and here is the access of the bucket, and it's saying that public access is not available. You can, if you need to change anything, you can change it right from here. Here there are no objects at the moment, so the bucket is empty, 0 objects are there. And within properties, you can enable all these different options like edit versioning, tags, so the things that we saw while creating this bucket. In the permission, here you can edit this and enable this for public access. And here you have metrics management. In the management, you have different options. We are going to check that in later in this in this video. So I'm going to go to the object and upload an object in this bucket. So just click on update, upload, and here you can add a file, you can add a folder. I'm going to add a file to this, and here let's say if I need to add this Excel sheet. If I add this Excel sheet here, it will be considered as an object, and here this is the size of the of the object. So once you're here, versioning is not enabled on this. So and here are different type of different classes of different classes of storage. So here it is considered as standard storage. You can change it from here. Nowadays we select it as intelligent tiering. So yes, intelligent tiering is, so we know that there is standard tiering, there is one zone, IA, infrequently accessed, infrequently accessed data, then there is reduced redundancy. Intelligent tiering, if we select this, then this will automatically select what type of data you have, what type of objects do you want to store in the bucket. So if it is an object that is more frequently accessed, so it can move between different type of storage. So let's say if it is an old data, if it is a data, if it's a file that is not frequently accessed, so it will change it to move it to infrequently accessed data. And then once somebody retrieves it and starts using, and everybody starts using it, or people starts using it, then it will automatically change the tiering. So here I'm going to select intelligent tiering for this, and that's it. We are going to upload. So here it's just acknowledging. I'm just gonna acknowledge this, that there is no versioning enabled, and upload the file. So it's uploading this file. The file is available within S3 storage. I can go back to S3, and within S3 I can see my bucket and whatever I need to see. So if I need to go into the bucket, I will go here, and this is the file that it has uploaded. If you need to see the file, you just click on the file, and here it shows you different properties of the file: the owner, is the user that I'm logged in with. The owner is basically the subscription. Here is last modified and the type of the class. And here, if you want to access the file, you need to click on this link. Once you click on this link here, if it is available, if there is if you have enabled the public access, then you will be able to see the file. Otherwise, it is giving us access denied. So now what we are going to do, we are going to enable public access for this so that we can access the file. So in order to enable this access, there are two places where we need to do it. We need to do it from here, permissions, but before that we need to enable public access on the bucket. So I'm gonna go back to the bucket here, and within permissions I need to go here and add it. And here it's saying block access. I'm gonna enable this so nothing is blocked, and save changes. It's saying type confirm, so I'm gonna type confirm. So public access is confirmed. I'm gonna go back to the bucket, and if I try to access that one more time, and let's see if I can access it now. You won't be able to access it because there is one more permission that we need to do, and for that I need to go into permissions, and within this we need to enable object access. Actually, not here. Actually, we need to do it right here, public, make public access. So once it is done, and now you're able to, now once you need to access the file, it just downloaded the file, and now you can open it. So the file is open, otherwise it was giving us access denied. So in order to provide that access, you need to do that on the bucket level, and then again you need to do that, provide that access on the object level. So in this video we have created a simple S3 bucket. We uploaded a file. In the next video we are going to we will be exploring more options within S3. Thank you for watching this video.